Mary Wollstonecraft, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman. The book A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, by Mary Wollstonecraft, challenges the age-old perception of women as mere servants to men and advocates for a societal shift towards gender equality. The summary highlights the need for women to have better representation in literature, government, and education, as well as the importance of encouraging women to engage in physical activity alongside men to build a cohesive society. It discusses the benefits of public education for both boys and girls, the dangers of focusing only on beauty and grace, and how the acknowledgement of women's rights can ultimately improve marriages, relationships, and the upbringing of future generations.
Shattering centuries-old stereotypes. Historically, women have been seen as subservient to men, catering to their needs, and deprived of opportunities for self-development. Challenging this outdated notion requires a multifaceted approach involving better representation in literature, government, and allowing women access to intellectual growth. By enabling women to develop their virtues, we can create a fair society that values the intellect and rational capabilities of women, just as it does for men. Since ancient times, women have been portrayed as mere servants to men, stemming from stories like that of Adam and Eve. To move towards a more equitable society, we need to challenge and change this stereotype. A critical starting point is amplifying women's presence in literature. Historically, men have dominated literary spaces, voicing their opinions on women's inferiority without any significant counterarguments from women themselves. By allowing women to express their thoughts and opinions through written works, we can begin to break down these outdated beliefs. Improving women's representation in government is another essential step towards equality. When governments consist solely of men, the rights and perspectives of women are often dismissed or overlooked. A diverse and inclusive government can better address the needs of all its citizens. Additionally, we must strive to provide women with equal opportunities to develop virtues, similar to their male counterparts. Achieving virtue involves understanding, action, and reflection, aspects that women have traditionally been discouraged from pursuing. Instead, women have been taught to prioritize their physical appearance and superficial values. This focus on external beauty deprives them of the intellectual capabilities necessary to earn genuine respect and social standing. To shatter the centuries-old stereotypes that limit women's potential, giving them access to education and knowledge is crucial. By empowering women to build their own virtue and rational decision-making abilities, we contribute to a society that equally values the intellectual strength and skills of both men and women. Breaking gender stereotypes. There is no valid reason for girls to be restricted from the same opportunities as boys. From early childhood, societal norms perpetuate inequality and steer girls towards different paths. Education should promote equality by having coeducational, public schools filled with students from diverse backgrounds. Private schools, frequented by wealthy individuals, often promote a false sense of superiority, a problem that parallels societal attitudes about how women should not pursue knowledge. Similarly, girls face limitations when it comes to developing physical strength, as they are discouraged from engaging in physical activities that boys are readily encouraged to participate in. This exaggerated disparity in strength perpetuates the notion of girls' dependency on boys, while also placing an undue emphasis on physical appearance. Encouraging girls to pursue both knowledge and physical activity can lead to a society that values and nurtures the full potential of all individuals, regardless of gender. Gender equality's profound impact. Education and physical activity, traditionally promoted to boys, creates a power dynamic in which men suppress the status of women. Men prioritize women's attractiveness over physical strength, perpetuating a cycle where women's worth is determined by securing a desirable husband. This harmful mentality instills cruelty and competitiveness amongst women, hindering their ability to form strong bonds or engage in productive discussions. As a result, women often resort to sneaky tactics to maintain their relationships with men, ultimately justifying their circumstances as a measure for safeguarding their marriages. Encouraging women to view themselves as equal to men, in body and mind, would not only elevate their personal well-being but also benefit their husbands and marital relationships. Friendship beyond romance. Inequality between men and women often leads to superficial relationships, resulting in men viewing their wives as mere accessories or means for procreation. To form deeper, more sustainable connections, men and women should build friendships, emphasizing intellectual equality. If women are raised to embrace virtues and morals, garnering the respect of men, then the double standard of sexual purity would reduce. Fostering intellectual and virtuous partnerships, women are freed from societal traps like prostitution, and both sexes benefit from a richer connection. Currently, many relationships between men and women are marred by inequality perpetuated by societal norms. Men frequently view their wives as tools for procreation or fashionable ornaments. To create stronger, lasting bonds, it's essential for men and women to develop friendships and not just romance. However, achieving intellectual camaraderie can be challenging. One obstacle is the superficial virtue that women are often urged to exemplify. If women don't understand the true essence of moral values, men are more likely to treat them poorly. Women must embrace virtues and morality like their male counterparts to gain respect and create an equal footing. When men and women interact as intellectual equals, genuine friendship becomes a possibility. Once this intellectual equity is established, men may be less motivated to seek prostitutes or have affairs. These transgressions typically arise from a lack of common ground between the sexes, leading men to grow bored after the initial honeymoon phase in their relationships. Frustration from this boredom can lead to men seeking excitement elsewhere while women become distrustful and manipulative to maintain their husband's faithfulness. By nurturing equal partnerships, the double standard of men enjoying sexual freedom while women conform to sexual purity begins to fade. Encouraging women to build their intellect and character, rather than focusing solely on their appearance, would create more fulfilling relationships for both partners. It would also liberate women from resorting to prostitution for survival, as they can rely on their minds and skills to support themselves. An emphasis on friendship and intellectual equality drives lasting, meaningful connections between men and women. Empower women, enrich society. Elevating women's rights is not meant to overpower men but rather to provide equal opportunities for women to contribute to society. With fair access to education, women can raise well-rounded future generations who are well-educated, empowered, and compassionate. A more equal and educated society would foster a culture of respect and kindness, breaking the cycle of perpetuated malice. Women could then influence the world in impactful ways, such as becoming doctors who cure life-threatening diseases and better meet the needs of their families. For example, understanding the benefits of breastfeeding would improve maternal and child health while also balancing family size and resources. Overall, women's equality benefits everyone, creating a more prosperous and harmonious society.
In conclusion, Wollstonecraft's A Vindication of the Rights of Woman creates a compelling argument for the importance of gender equality and the need to empower women through education, representation, and physical activity. By breaking down these barriers, not only will women be able to lead a more fulfilling and virtuous life, but society as a whole will benefit from stronger marriages, better upbringing of children, and fairer representation of both genders in all aspects of life. The book serves as a crucial beacon for readers interested in understanding the foundations of the fight for women's rights and the role women can play in building a better world.